There's a quiet revolution happening in programming. And it's not in Silicon Valley boardrooms or startup incubators. It's happening right inside your terminal window. For decades, the command line was sacred ground, a place for the builders, the hackers, the elite few who spoke in symbols and syntax instead of sentences. It was powerful, but intimidating. And for anyone who couldn't read its strange digital language, it felt like staring into the Matrix. Until now. Because Google's newest AI agent, Jules, just changed the rules of coding forever. It's not just an assistant, it's a partner, a collaborator that understands what you mean, not just what you type. And with its new Jules Tools update, Google has officially turned the command line, that black box of blinking text, into something alive. Let's start with what Jules actually is. Originally launched quietly as an experimental AI coding companion, Jules was Google's answer to GitHub Copilot and OpenAI's Codex. But while those tools were trained to predict code, Jules was trained to understand developers. It doesn't just auto-complete your syntax, it interprets your intent. It can navigate your file system, run scripts, debug errors, install dependencies, and even refactor your project. All through natural language. You don't have to remember commands, you just talk to it. Type, Jules, check which process is eating my RAM and kill it. Done. Jules, deploy my latest build to production, but only if all tests pass. It runs the checks, catches the warnings, fixes what it can, and pushes live. Jules, why is this Docker container failing? It reads your logs, finds the issue, and explains it in plain English. It's like having a senior DevOps engineer inside your terminal. But the real game changer came with this year's update, Jules Tools, a complete suite that connects your command line to the entire AI ecosystem. Now Jules can write, run, and maintain code across environments, from Python notebooks to Kubernetes clusters, all controlled through simple language. It's not just executing commands, it's reasoning about them. Need to build an app? Jules scaffolds your project, installs libraries, sets up your Git repo, and writes the boilerplate, without you ever touching a tutorial. Need a database migration? Jules drafts the SQL, previews changes, and even suggests rollback options. This is no longer automation. This is intelligent operations. And here's the most mind-blowing part. Jules can now integrate directly with Gemini, Google's flagship AI brain. That means it can tap into live documentation, API specs, even Stack Overflow discussions, in real time. It's like having the collective knowledge of the entire internet, compressed into one voice at your fingertips. No more Googling error messages. No more copying from Reddit threads. You just ask, and Jules fixes it. But this isn't just about convenience. It's about what this means for the future of programming itself. For the first time, the command line, the oldest interface in computing, is becoming conversational. Human. You can literally talk to your machine now. Not in clicks, not in commands, but in full sentences. It's as if the operating system finally learned how to understand its creator. Developers are already calling Jules the Jarvis of DevOps. And they're not exaggerating. Early testers at Google Cloud have used Jules to manage 1,000-node clusters without a single line of manual scripting. Others are using it to monitor server health, deploy patches, or handle version control automatically. One engineer said, "It's like having a second brain wired into my terminal." And here's where it gets even more interesting. Jules is learning from every command it executes. Each interaction improves its reasoning, its accuracy, and its ability to predict what you'll need next. That means your copy of Jules becomes your version, personalized to your workflow, your codebase, your habits. Over time, it stops being just a tool and becomes a mirror of your own technical mind. But there's a deeper story here, a cultural one. For decades, coding was power. Those who could speak the machine's language shaped the world. Everyone else had to wait. Jules changes that balance. Because suddenly, you don't need to be fluent in code to create, build, or automate. You just need an idea and a conversation. That's terrifying for some developers and liberating for others. It means the next generation of creators might not look like coders at all. They'll be storytellers, designers, business owners, anyone who can describe what they want clearly enough for AI to build it. Of course, not everyone's celebrating. There's concern that tools like Jules could automate away entry-level programming jobs, the same way AI is already shaking up writing, art, and media. If an AI can write full applications on command, what happens to the thousands of junior devs who used to do that work manually? But others argue that this is just evolution, the same way compilers replaced assembly and frameworks replaced raw code. Each leap frees humans to focus on bigger problems. Jules might take over the grunt work, but it also empowers a new kind of developer, one who focuses on architecture, creativity, and design thinking rather than syntax. And maybe that's the point. Google's not trying to kill programming. It's trying to elevate it, to make creation as easy as communication. Think about it. The first computers required punch cards, then came keyboards, then GUIs, then touchscreens. Now, we've reached the next interface: conversation. Jules isn't replacing coding. It's replacing the barrier between you and the code. So yes, it's just a command line AI on paper, but in reality, it's something much bigger. It's the moment machines finally learn to understand builders. It's the bridge between imagination and execution. And as Jules quietly spreads through Google Cloud, Android Studio, and Chrome OS, one thing is clear. The era of command line loneliness is over. You're no longer coding alone. You're coding with a partner who never sleeps, never judges, and never forgets. So the next time you open your terminal and see that blinking cursor, remember, it's no longer waiting for your command. It's listening for your idea. Because in the world of Jules, the command line doesn't just execute code anymore. It understands your intent, and that changes everything.